Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome to Stellar Tarot Alchemy. So I'm just popping in quickly because I want to make a reference to yesterday's video that I made because yesterday I had a crazy day. I was very frustrated, very angry, very disappointed because all day I was working. I wanted to finish a project and I was using several applications. It did not work. Whatever I did, it didn't work. I had so many glitches. And after many hours of working diligently, hardly, I just needed to give up. I needed to give up. And I was feeling very frustrated, angry. And I remembered, okay, we have a full moon in Aries. Okay, Aries is a very aggressive sign, a lot of conflicts, a lot of tensions, a lot of subconscious anger rising. Full moon is about completion, about letting go, which is not always very easy. And I decided to ground myself by pulling a few tarot cards. And this is a video I made yesterday. So I definitely encourage you to pop out to my profile and take a look at this video. It's only like 10, 11 minutes where I show you my tarot practice and what cards I pulled. So why I'm mentioning this? Because I really do want you to pay attention for everybody who is doing tarot readings and they're not using astrology. I really want to bridge that gap because for me as a professional astrologer, tarot reader and tarot coach, every time I do tarot cards for my clients, for myself, always the astrological current transits are reflected in the cards. And I want to connect this to my own personal example. So yesterday I was pulling a card. So I encourage you to take a look at the video from yesterday, 10 minutes, 11 minutes, but I'm just going to show shortly here. So what was the lesson at the end of this long, tumultuous, frustrating day with no results, time spent and nothing was completed? What was the lesson? And the lesson was the death card. I pulled the focus six of cups card. I pulled another card, Seven of Cups yesterday. So all of those cards have something in common. First, the element of water, and then the zodiac sign Scorpio. That card is related to Scorpio sign. This card is related to Sun in Scorpio. This card is related to Venus in Scorpio. So this is like a heavy Scorpio emphasis. And I was like, okay, let me see what is going on in the sky. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to share my screen. And here on this screen, you can see my natal chart from today, but it's only a day of difference. So the transits are the same. So on the left side, you can see the whole sign system, the natal chart in the whole sign system. If you don't know what it is, it doesn't matter. I'm going to explain it. And on the right side, you can see Placidus system. So my chart in both signs, the difference is only the division, the division of houses, and you can see it's different. So what you're seeing in the red circle is my Scorpio house. And I just wanted to explain to you how astrological transits were speaking to me through tarot cards. So the lesson was the death card. Death card, it's endings, transformation, letting go. Scorpio is a fixed sign. It holds on to things. It doesn't let go easily. And it is really intense, emotionally deep, transformative, intense. And the Scorpio sign falls in my 11th house. Just let me in my 11th house. 11th house is a house of social groups. You belong to networking, to your long-term goals, and groups of friends, groups of people, networking, affiliates, and so on. And in my natal chart, so before I go to natal chart, we are on the natal chart, but the transiting planets are here in the green. So Mercury entered in the sign yesterday, I believe, in the sign of Scorpio, and it activated my natal Jupiter. My natal Jupiter rules my 12th house of subconscious, and my moon, which means my deep, tr deep triggers were activated, And my third house, Pisces, house of social media, social contact, also networking, marketing, siblings, neighbors, skills, and so on and so forth in Pisces. So, and this is what was activated. Mercury. What is Mercury? Mercury is communication skills, networking, creating marketing, creating content. So, Mercury as a planet, bringing that a vibe of communications, of skills, of marketing, of doing social media in the sign of Scorpio means through the lens of the Scorpio, it expresses itself very intensely, emotionally invested in what he's doing. And he's activating my natal planet Jupiter, which is all about higher knowledge, expansion, experience, experiential wisdom. And Jupiter is so I was doing a lot of so yesterday I was doing the content in regards to astrology and in regards to tarot, and I was trying to make a content. I was trying to make a webinar. I was trying to make to create images and so on and so forth. So this all relates to Mercury. And because it is in the 11th house, I wanted to do this for my wide social online network. And Jupiter is ruling my third house, social media, local friendships, skills. And I didn't have the skill to understand how to work in certain applications to get things done. And as a result, even though it's a trine, even though Mercury is making a trine, Mars is making a trine to my third house from 11 to my third, the communication social houses, I was still very agitated and I was very angry. Why? Because Mars, planet Mars, here you can see it. We are going to use a red color, is transiting also through my 11th house, bringing conflict, bringing aggression, bringing intense focus. And I was intensely focused for hours on trying to make things good, trying to make things right. And Mars is ruling the sign of Aries, which is in my fourth house. Okay. And the full moon was happening on the 14th degree of Aries. So all of this situation was also activating my fourth house, Aries sign, and I was working from home. I was working from home. I was very, very agitated. And the full moon was in opposition to my natal Saturn, right? Saturn presents limitations, obstacles. It drains. So I'm not going to go in all of the analysis because here we have the sun and the moon, which are in opposition during the full moon. And then we are looking also the signs of Leo because sun rules Leo and moon rules Cancer, but I'm not going to get into it. So I just wanted to put it very simply because I feel like I complicated a little bit. So I got the death card, endings, Scorpio. Six of Sun in Scorpio. I got Venus in Scorpio, all scorpionic themes, okay, through tarot. And then I go, okay, I'm going to check my natal chart. And I see Mercury and Mars are activating my 11th house in Scorpio. And not only that, they're activating my natal Jupiter, the teacher, who is the ruler of my moon in the 12th house of subconscious and self undoing, and my third house, which is everyday communication, marketing, social media, and so on. And all of that was intense yesterday, full of obstacles, full of delays. And Mars is ruling the full moon that we had, and it was opposing my Saturn, my natal Saturn, and Saturn are obstacles, delays. redirections. And because Mars is a very fiery planet, even though it is in a sign of Scorpio right now, and it rules the sign of Scorpio. So it brings very intense emotions, a very intense engagement, a lot of emotional frustrations because we are emotionally invested. So when you take a look on the other chart, this one here, Placidus, how we can see this from Placidus? Because there are a lot of people who are using either one or either another system or completely something third. Me personally, like I said, I like to take a look at both. And when I'm looking at the Placidus system, I see that the 10th house cusp is in the sign of Scorpio. Jupiter is in the 10th house, very close to the 9th house. So what are we saying? How we are seeing the same thing from another angle? So my 10th house cusp is in Scorpio. Mercury and Mars are also again are in the same place. They are activating my Jupiter, which is in the 9th house. So 9th house is all about your beliefs, higher learning, higher education, your moral, ethical beliefs. And this was activating my doubts. This was activating uh, doubting myself, my capabilities. Okay. So from here, from this chart, Jupiter is ruling my moon in the 10th house, this conjuncting 11th house. So public image, public standing, work career, but also 11th house. Again, 11th house of networking, of affiliates, of group networking, long-term goals. And the moon is being activated, and moon is very emotional, very subconscious, very so a lot of subconscious patterns were activated with this in the 10th and 11th house, in the 10th and 11th area of my life. So I would say most 11th house, because moon is conjuncting 11th house cusp. Okay. And from this chart, Jupiter is ruling my second house cusp, where the north node is, which is speaking about finances, what I value, my resources, where I put my attention to what I think it is valuable. And I put my attention to creating a content, educational content, Jupiter educational. And there was issues with, there was issues. There was obstacles. At the end of the day, I felt really discouraged and unable, incapable. Okay. And how this was also activated, because the full moon was in Aries in opposition to Libra. The sun was activating Saturn, and the full moon was activating Saturn in the opposite house, in the 8th house. 8th house is deep, psychological, transformational, occult, and a lot of other things, but I'm mentioning only the things that are relevant to yesterday. And this is occult. I was working on occult topics. Saturn are delays. Full moon was in my second house. Again, related to in Placidus, related to my resources, what I value, and it was all about my values. And the thing that I couldn't create what I was planning really made me feel unvaluable, very disheartening. And this is it. So this is what I just wanted to show you how cards are speaking through the sky, through the stars, through the planets. Scorpio is very intense sign. Scorpio is all about death and rebirth. There was a need to let go of what I was doing and surrender to the endings. And we had full moon in Aries ruled by Mars. Surrender, let go. don't stay focused, don't have a firm grip. The advice was Six of Cups, which is a beautiful, beautiful card, which is Sun in Scorpio, you know. Uh, Pull back, surrender to experience your emotional turmoil and find and connect to people or to emotion to the stuff and things that are making you emotionally safe so you can regain, restore, and restore your energy, right? Still very scorpionic. And I had Seven of Cups, and this is Venus in Scorpio. Venus doesn't feel very good in Scorpio, and it's disillusionment. Um, Simply what we desire, Venus is coming to a transformation, to an end, Scorpio, and this is what happened. And some of the content I did create, I did repurpose. So I completely gave up on a format I wanted to do, but I still used the basic things and repurposed it. So it's going to be usable. It's not completely went to waste. Okay, my lovelies, I hope this is useful for you to see how I'm looking at the cards and the charts when I'm doing tarot readings. I always pull two together to see how they relate. Of course, tarot always deepens the message. Um, Astrology also always deepens the message. So I would definitely encourage you, for you tarot lovers, to deepen your practice with astrology, to learn a little bit more about that. If you are interested in blending the two arts together and how to use it seamlessly, effortlessly, I am going to create a course, mini workshop actually, that is going to be free. And this is going to be an introduction into the course of astrotarology, how to blend things together without being overwhelmed. Okay, my lovelies, this is it from me, and I wish you an excellent day. And if you have questions or if something is not clear, write down in the comments. If you have any additional questions, pop the questions in the comments. Where is your Scorpio house? Where is your Aries house? Because each slice of the pie represents a certain area of your life. Let me know. Did you feel the tension? Did you feel the frustration? Where, in what area? If you don't know astrology, if you don't know in which chart, just let me know what you were going through, and I will try to connect it to the area and to astrology of your chart. Bye, guys.